What if I told you that the heroes of Power Rangers Ninja Steel didn't just disappear after the final battle? They walked into completely different lives, and some of them struggled to carry the weight of the legacy they left behind. Back then, it felt simple: colorful suits, teamwork, and saving the world. But 9 years later, the truth feels very different. The fame faded, the spotlight shifted, and the actors behind those masks faced real-life decisions that fans never got to see. And once you uncover where they are now, it doesn't just feel nostalgic, it feels real. Brody Romero. Brody Romero was the leader, the Red Ranger, the one who carried the emotional weight of the story. His journey began with loss, survival, and the determination to reunite with his past. On screen, he was fearless. But behind the scenes, things weren't always that simple. 9 years later, the actor who played Brody faced a challenge many don't talk about: typecasting. When you become the face of a major franchise, it becomes difficult for audiences to see you as anything else. Fans expected him to stay in action roles, but his path didn't follow that script. This created quiet tension. People began asking, where did he go? The truth is, stepping away from such a defining role takes courage. His journey became less about fame and more about identity, because sometimes the hardest battle isn't fighting villains, it's figuring out who you are after the costume comes off. Preston Tien. Preston Tien brought creativity and humor into the team. As the Blue Ranger, he wasn't just about strength, he was about thinking differently. After the show ended, his path took an unexpected turn. Instead of staying in the same lane, he explored creative spaces beyond acting. This surprised fans who expected him to continue in similar roles. The shift sparked curiosity. Why walk away from something so recognizable? But that's where the real story lies. Growth doesn't always follow expectation. His journey shows that success isn't always about staying visible. Sometimes it's about finding fulfillment away from the spotlight. And that choice, while quiet, speaks louder than any role. Maxwell. Calvin Maxwell was the laid-back, relatable member of the team. He didn't try to be perfect, he just tried to be real. But after the series ended, his presence became almost invisible. Fans searched for updates, appearances, anything, but found very little. This silence created speculation. Did he leave acting? Was he working behind the scenes? No one had clear answers. And that's what made his story so intriguing. In a world where everyone shares everything, choosing privacy becomes powerful. Calvin's journey reminds us that not every story needs to stay public. Hayley Foster. Hayley Foster stood strong, confident, and fearless. She wasn't just part of the team, she demanded attention. Years later, her transformation became one of independence. She stepped into new opportunities, proving she wasn't limited to one role. Fans admired this shift. It showed growth, ambition, and the willingness to evolve beyond expectations. Her journey became a statement: being part of something big is just the beginning. Thompson. Sarah Thompson brought intelligence and curiosity to the team. She was the problem solver, the one who looked deeper. After the show, her path mirrored her character. She explored new creative directions, stepping outside traditional roles. This decision sparked respect, because instead of chasing visibility, she followed curiosity. Her story shows that sometimes the smartest move isn't the most obvious one. Romero. Aiden Romero carried emotional depth. His connection to Brody added a powerful layer to the story. Even years later, his impact remains strong. Though his role wasn't always central, it left a lasting impression. His journey reminds us that influence isn't measured by screen time, but by emotional connection. Mechanic was the mentor, the guide, the steady presence in chaos. After the series, his character remained a fan favorite. His experience brought authenticity that grounded the entire story. His journey represents consistency, the kind that keeps everything together. Victor Vincent. Victor Vincent added humor through exaggerated confidence and constant mishaps. Over time, fans began to appreciate his role more. Comedy isn't easy, and his performance brought balance to intense moments. Monty. Monty complemented Victor perfectly. Together, they created moments that fans didn't fully appreciate until later. Their presence showed that even chaos has purpose. Princess Vieira. Princess Vieira represented courage and leadership. Though not always central, her role added depth to the story's world. Sandy. Sandy may have had a smaller presence, but contributed to the bigger picture. Her role reminds us that every character matters, even if they're not always in focus. In the end, the Ninja Steel cast didn't just move on, they transformed. Some chased new dreams, others stepped away completely, and a few carried the legacy forward in their own way. Because the real story isn't about where they are now. It's about what happens after the spotlight fades, when you're left to discover who you really are.